Connor, I gotta ask, because you and I have a little bit of history here, before we get there, how did you get started in aquariums?
Well, Mark, I got started in aquariums when I was about 7 years old. So I was born in 2000, so that was about 2007.
2000? Wait. You were born in 2000.
I was born in 2000, yep.
Oh, to be young again. Okay. You were born in 2000. 2007, you got your first tank. Continue.
So I got my first beta, and shortly after that, I got an Aquarium 14 gallon. I'm not sure if they make those anymore. It had just your typical neon tetras, swordtails, and I quickly wanted to get into saltwater. I went to PetSmart, Petco, something like that, and they said I wasn't experienced enough to have it.
Really?
Yeah.
They seriously turned you away. Wow. I mean, okay, do you think that was true at the time? Was that a good call, or you think you were ready?
Yeah, absolutely, that was a good call. And actually, I worked at Petco at one point, and I probably would have done the same thing. I was just a kid that wanted a Nemo. So I had a little more to learn, and so I was asking my parents for a saltwater tank for a long time, and they were saying absolutely not. So what I did is I set up a PowerPoint presentation for them to show them how much I knew. And at that point, I've been studying this for about 2 or 3 years, so I actually knew a good amount. And a couple of years later, then I finally got my first reef tank.
Sounds like the PowerPoint didn't sell them in the moment, but it did in the future?
Well, it did sell them in the moment. I just had no money because I was probably about 10 years old, 11 years old, so I had a little saving to do.
So they said yes, but you have to pay for it.
Exactly.
Aha. Smart parents. Okay. So I gotta ask, do you still have this PowerPoint presentation?
I'm sure it's there somewhere. I gotta find an old computer.
Okay. So you got your first tank. Take me from then to now.
Well, my first reef tank was a deep blue 90 gallon. Actually, I was gonna get a 75 gallon, but at the time you were making videos and you had a 90 gallon, actually. And I saw your video and I'm like, oh, that's what I want. So I got a 90 gallon. That 90 gallon is actually still running today. It is shortly going to be moved. From there, I went to school for aquaculture and aquarium science. I've been in the aquarium hobby for as long as I can remember, and I absolutely love it.
And we met at a MACNA. You reminded me of this fact. MACNA DC?
Yep, DC. It was 2015.
We both were so young back then.
Yeah, I certainly was.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that was an awesome moment for me. Because this was always a hobby I had. No one else could relate to me at the time. When I went to the show for the first time, meeting you and meeting many others, just anyone, even people that were 40 years older than me, I could just simply talk to them about fish tanks, and I was able to make friends really easily. And I never got to experience someone that had the same hobby as me, and that's something I never want to get away from.
And now you work for a company that has a presence in the aquarium world, Hanna Instruments.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Actually, when I was 15 years old, that was a Christmas present for me. I remember a Hanna checker. So I've been using Hanna checkers for quite a while, and the second I saw that job posting, it actually is in the same state I went to school in, which is Rhode Island, very small state. So I got absolutely lucky. I went to school for a very niche major, aquaculture, aquarium science, and I'm very fortunate and lucky that there was a job opening for Hanna, a company a product I've used for a very long time. So I'm very proud.
You're too young to remember this, but late 80s, early 90s, there was a hair growth product called Hair Club for Men, and the commercials always ended with the guy. He said something to the extent of like,
and by the way, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
So it's like, not only do you work for Hanna, but you have also used Hanna in the back for years. So I'm an actual user. You can say that. What's been the best part about working in the aquarium industry when you are a hobbyist? Because some people are like, oh, that takes the fun out of it. What's your take on all that?
No, absolutely not. The aquarium hobby has consumed my life for such a long time, and it's accelerating at this point, but I absolutely love it. I love that every single day I'm talking about the hobby. Of course, every aquarium store owner, your local fish store, I get to talk to a lot of those owners, just about everyone in the country. and they have the same passion as I do. So it's very easy to have a friendly conversation. And I came from aquarium retail too, so I always loved talking about fish, problem solving, and luckily at Hanna I can still do the same thing, just at a slightly different level. But definitely hasn't taken the fun out. I'm still excited to set up a new tank and tinker in my tank every night, and I'm never going to leave this hobby.
I feel the same way. Some people are like, I touch fish tanks all day. I don't want to come home to a tank. I'm like, I'm running home at the end of the day to look at my fish tank and relax. So it's cool that you still have that passion. It's cool that you've carried it through your whole life. That's really awesome, Connor. Keep up the good work.